गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदीकैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम् गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकीपुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि अस्तु. So last time we stopped at the 5th shloka. We'll continue with the 6th. Lakshmi Bhagini.
Bhagini. 6th one. न तद् भासयते सूर्यः न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम न तत् भासयते सूर्यः न शशाङ्कः न पावकः यत् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम न अव्ययं तत् लकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गः द्वितीया विभक्ति भासयते क्रिया सूर्यः पुल्लिङ्गशब्दः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं न अव्ययं शशाङ्कः पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं न अव्ययं पावकः पुल्लिङ्गः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं यत् द्वितीया विभक्ति गत्वा अव्ययं न अव्ययं निवर्तन्ते क्रिया तत् तदपि द्वितीया विभक्ति एव किल भगिनि
प्रथमा एकवचनं नपुंसकं
प्रथमा एकवचनं धाम धाम प्रथमा एकवचनं धामन् शब्दः परमं प्रथमा एकवचनं मम षष्टि एकवचनं पदार्थः भासयते प्रकाशयति शशाङ्कः चन्द्रः पावकः अग्निः धाम स्थानम् अन्वयः सूर्यः तत् न भासयते न शशाङ्कः न पावकः यत् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तत् मम परमं धाम तात्पर्यं यत् पदं न सूर्यः प्रकाशयितुं शक्नोति न चन्द्रः नापि अग्निः यत् प्राप्तश्च पुरुषः पुनः न संसारक्लेशम् अनुभवति तदेव मम श्रेष्ठं स्थानं रामानुजीयमतं तद्धाम परमं मम इत्यस्य परमं ज्योतिः मदीयम् इत्यर्थः
तो अत्र क्रियापदं किम्
भासयते निवर्तन्ते
निवर्तन्ते भासयते निवर्तन्ते यत् यत् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तत् मम परमं धामम् अस्ति पुनः तत्
सूर्यः न प्रकाशयितुं शक्यते
शशाङ्कः
चन्द्रः न अग्निः
न पावकः न शशाङ्कः न सूर्यः और सूर्यः न भासयते okay so basically what does it mean
that is parama sthanamasti kila it is not affected by either the natural suryah chandrah whatever is there that is not getting affected. Mean that Parama Thanam, it is not affected by the natural elements.
So the Paramam Dhamam means the abode of the Paramatma.
Paramatma.
Is there even before the Surya, even before the Chandra, even before Agni. Yat padam na Suryaha prakashayitum shaknoti, where it is not possible for Surya to shine, where even Chandra cannot shine, where even Agni cannot be there. Yat praptaha cha purushaha punaha na samsara klesham anubhavati. Tadeva mama shreshtam sthanam. So where, yat padam, where, in which place Suryaha na prakashayitum shaknoti, where Chandra also prakashayitum na shaknoti, where Agnihi also prakashayitum na shaknoti, that place, that same yat, the same padam, yat purushaha praptaha cha, if he attains
that place.
Punaha na samsara klesham anubhavati. So when the Purusha reaches that place where even sun cannot illuminate it, where even Chandra cannot illuminate it, or Agni cannot illuminate it, once a Purusha reaches that place, he will not have samsara klesham. And that place, Tadeva mama shreshtam sthanam, means that is the Paramam Dhamam, that is the abode of the Paramatma. So now here, how can you put the Anvaya?
Suryaha yat na bhasayate. Shashankaha na bhasayate.
Not needed. Not needed. Simply we can add with na shashankaha na pavakaha.
Yat
gatva
na nivartante. Tat mama paramam dhama.
Tat mama paramam dhama. So here the two yat sentences should be connected to the tat. Here two yats are there. Na tat bhasayate surya.
Pratama tat, first tat also dhama, that paramam dhama only. No, it points out the dhama. Suryaha dhama na bhasayate na shashankaha na pavakaha. Yat padam gatva na nivartante tat mama paramam dhama.
So here in the Tatparyam, they gave two yats and one tat, but in the Anvaya actually we have two tats and one yat. Suryaha tat na bhasayate na shashankaha na pavakaha yat gatva nivartante tat mama paramam dhama. So how we can take this tat as where the Purusha has gone, there Surya does not illuminate, Chandra does not illuminate.
Mentioned for that padam only, no dhama.
That padam only.
Padam only.
So in that padam, the Surya does not illuminate. That is my abode. So here that tat is referring to the same paramam dhama, but it is referring indirectly. That is the place where Surya also cannot. Suryaha na bhasayate, Chandraha na bhasayate, Shashankaha pavakaha na bhasayate. Tadeva mama dhama. Okay. Okay. Anantaram. Radhika Bhagini. Sorry, Savitri Bhagini.
Yes. Mamai vamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manas shashtani indriyani prakritisthani kashati. Mama eva amshaha jiva loke jiva bhutaha sanatanaha manaha shashtani indriyani prakritisthani kashati. Mama षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचन एव अव्ययम् अंशः प्रथमपुरुष एकवचन जीवलोके सप्तमी विभक्ति प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचन
सप्तमी विभक्ति ओनली एकवचन
अंश I said प्रथम पुरुष I said so अंशः प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचन जीवलोके सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचन जीवभूतः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन सनातनः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन मनः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन मनःषष्ठानि द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन इंद्रियाणि
षष्ठानि
बहुवचनं सॉरी इंद्रियाणि द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचन प्रकृतिस्थानि द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचन कर्षति कृष् धातु परस्मैपदी लट् लकार प्रथम पुरुष एकवचन जीवलोके संसारे सनातनः चिरन्तनः अंशः अवयवः जीवभूतः जीवत्वं प्राप्तः प्रकृतिस्थानि प्रकृतौ विद्यमानानि मनःषष्ठानि चित्तषष्ठानि कर्षति आकर्षति जीवलोके मम अन्वयः जीवलोके मम सनातनः अंशः एव जीवभूतः प्रकृतिस्थानि मनःषष्ठानि इन्द्रियाणि कर्षति तात्पर्यं यो अयं संसारः तत्र जीवः ममैव चिरन्तनः कश्चित् अवयवः यद्यपि सुप्तौ प्रलये च तस्य मयि लयो वर्तते तथापि मायाशालित्वात् सगुणे एव मयि लयः न तु मायासम्बन्ध राहित्यात् निर्विशेषे ब्रह्मणि ततश्च सुषुप्तौ प्रलये वा समाप्ते पुनः संसाराय निर्गच्छन् सः कर्मवशात् शरीरं प्राप्नुवान् भोगार्थं मनः प्रधानानि सर्वाण्यपि इन्द्रियाणि प्राप्नोति माध्वमतम् ब्रह्मादि जीवशरीरे अनादिनित्यः जीवरूपः दट् इस् ब्रह्मरुद्रादिः ममैव भिन्नांशः न तु मत्स्यादिवत् स्वरूपांशः भिन्नोऽपि सूर्यस्य खद्योतवत् किञ्चित् सादृश्य मात्रेण अंशः इत्युच्यते रामानुजीयमतं ममैवांशम् इत्यस्य मद्विभूतिमतः ममैव अंश इत्यर्थः व्याकरणं जीवानां लोकः जीवलोकः तस्मिन् षष्ठी तत्पुरुष मनः षष्ठं येषु तानि मनः षष्ठानि बहुव्रीहि समासः प्रकृतौ तिष्ठन्ति प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्तरि प्रत्ययः उपपदसमासश्च कर्षति क्रियापदमस्ति
कर्षति क्रियापदं कः कर्षति
प्रकृतिस्थानि कः मनः इंद्रियाणि जीवलोके
so karshati here means draws like it attracts akarshati like that so what is being drawn the jivatma actually
sanatanah amshah
but the jivatma is not given here so we can take it as अध्याहृतं जीवलोके मम सनातनः अंशः एव जीवभूतः प्रकृतिस्थानि मनः षष्ठानि इन्द्रियाणि कर्षति so that so the gist of this shloka is the jivatma how the jivatma is entering into this world so it enters into this jivaloka that jiva bhutah it becomes jiva bhutah means it will become different from the paramatma Jivatma. It will become Jivatma. What will become Jivatma? Mama eva amshaha. My amsha only. Means that Paramamsha, Paramatma's amsha is there. That upon entering the Jiva Loka will become a Jiva Bhutaha. Means becoming a Jivatma. Sanatanaha Manashashthani Indriyani. So it will Prakritisthani Indriyani. Means it will acquire these Indriyani, which are Prakritisthani, which are in this Prakriti. Which are in this Prakriti, it will acquire these Indriyani along with the 5 Indriyas, Manashashthani, the mind as the 6th. So the 5 Panchendriyas and the Manas. And this Manas will be the 6th. It will draw to itself all these Indriyani. Okay, so it will have the Amsha of the Paramatma, but it will, when it enters this Prakriti, the Jiva Loka, it will attract all these Indriyani, which are in this, and even the Gunas, of course, that are already there as part of this Prakriti, and it will become Jiva Bhutaha, means it will become a Jivatma.
Yes.
Okay? So what is being said is, the Paramatma is there in every Jivatma. But upon entering this Jiva Loka, that Jivatma aspect of that being also will come into existence. So this Jivatma, because it is associated with the Prakriti and the Indriyas, it will acquire the Indriyas, and through the Indriyas it will start doing certain karmas, and because of that it will again acquire certain things. And during all this process, if the ignorance is also there, the Jivatma cannot identify the Paramatma within itself. It will only relate to the things that it is connected to through the Indriyas, and will always be in that cycle without realizing that there is Paramatma within. And that is why they always say Adhyatma, means look inside. So inside the Jivatma there is Paramatma. So he who realizes that, Adhyatma Chintanam means that only, trying to understand the Paramatma within ourselves.
Yeah.
Connecting with that Paramatma. And how can we connect with the Paramatma? By looking at Paramatma in everything. What all we discussed in all of these classes many times.
Yes.
So like that, by constantly reminding ourselves of the Paramatma that is there in everything, we can connect to the Paramatma, and that is the only way we can get rid of the ignorance. And once the ignorance, we overcome the ignorance, then again we can identify with the Paramatma. And then that cycle is broken. The life and death cycle is broken. At which point again the Parandhama is achieved. So all this, this is a big cycle. And here another thing is how we should constantly look at how the Indriyani and the Gunas and the Manas, and how there is like a precious stone is there, like a diamond. So it is, if it falls into the mud and is there for so long, it will accumulate some dust. So when somebody looks at it, they may not realize that it is such a pure stone by looking at the dust accumulated on it. Only when all that dust is cleaned. But will the dust actually taint the Vajram itself? The quality, the original quality of the Vajram is still there underneath. Just because it is covered with dust, it doesn't mean the quality is affected. It is only accumulated on the top. Once all that is again cleaned, then again the original value of that stone is always there. It is always present. So that original quality of the stone is like the Paramatma. It is there within. But all the external factors are affecting it. But that is only external. That original stone is not in no way diminished. Similarly, gold, no matter how much of other metals that you add to it, once again the goldsmith pours it into the thing, like after melting it, all the impurities can be taken away. Again, the pure gold, how much ever it is, even if it is only 0.5 grams, it is still there. No matter how much of other metals are added to it, and it appears to be, polluted, that original gold is still within it. Only we have to separate all the other impurities, and then the pure gold will again come out, and it will still have the same value. The value of that is not diminished, no matter what. Similarly, here also one has to understand that the Paramatma will always be within the Jivatma, that Paramatma, the Amsha of the Paramatma itself comes into the Jiva Loka and then assumes this Jivatma through the Sharira, and it will acquire the qualities from the Prakriti, the Indriyani, and all these are drawn to itself. And because of that, it will try and identify itself with the Sharira, to which the Indriyas are drawn. And that identification is because of the ignorance. Once it achieves the knowledge, Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, then this identification with the body will not be there. So it will realize the Paramatma within itself and again reach him. Okay?
मायाशालित्वात् सगुणे एव मयि लयः न तु माया संबंध राहित्यात् निर्विशेषे ब्रह्मणि. What is exactly, ma'am?
So here, yoyam samsaraha tatra jivaha mamaiva chirantanaha kaschit avayavaha. Yadyapi suptau pralaye cha tasya mayi layo vartate tathapi mayashalitvat sagune eva mayi layaha. Natu maya sambandha rahityat निर्विशेषे ब्रह्मणि. ततश्च सुषुप्तौ प्रलये वा समाप्ते पुनः संसाराय निर्गच्छन् सः कर्मवशात् शरीरं प्राप्नुवन् भोगार्थं मनःप्रदानानि सर्वाण्यपि इन्द्रियाणि प्राप्नोति. So how it is achieving that यद्यपि सुप्तौ प्रलये च तस्य मयि लयः वर्तते तथापि मायाशालित्वात् सगुणे एव मयि लयः न तु मायासम्बन्धराहित्यात् निर्विशेषे ब्रह्मणि. Let me see. So basically the Jivatma is again Maya. There is no split in the Paramatma. There is only one Paramatma. So when it is said that Paramatma Amsha enters the Jiva Loka, it is not like a part of Paramatma is coming, which is not, which cannot be split. So the Jivatma which appears to be coming, there are so many Jivatmas on this earth, right? So these are all not individual, though they appear to be like individual souls, they are not individual souls, they are a part of the Paramatma itself. So these individual souls are also Maya. Right? And then
no, Paramatma's little Amsha is enter our body as Jivatma, isn't it?
Say that again.
Paramatma's little amsha is enter our Paramatma only, that Jivatma.
The Paramatma enters the Jivatma, you are saying?
Paramatma's little amsha, part of Paramatma's power will enter our body as Jivatma, isn't it?
So the Paramatma amsha is coming and it is assuming like a Jivatma. It assumes itself as a Jivatma, which also, so the Paramatma is there, underlying the Paramatma is there. When it enters the Jiva Loka, it assumes like a Jivatma. It becomes like a Jivatma, which is not, which is an illusion. It appears
only
to become.
Its assumption.
Only its assumption. Yeah, you can say the assumption of itself and assumption of everyone around also. So every Jivatma is Paramatma himself, but on top, because of entering this Jivaloka, there is a Maya built around that. That is how you can look at it. There is a Maya built around that Paramatma Amsha which enters the Jivaloka. And that Maya is becoming a part of Prakriti, and so it is acquiring all the qualities of the Prakriti and associating itself with the Prakriti. And Prakriti always means the Panchabhutas. So the body also, the Sharira, which is also made out of Panchabhutas, it is giving itself a shape. It is giving itself a physical shape as pertaining to the materialistic world, the Prakriti. So basically, even after the Jivatma leaves the Sharira, it says that for it to again make its travel into either the next life or to the Paramatma, depending on the karmas that they do, they say that it will again assume another body. What is it called? There is a name for it. That body it assumes again to make that travel. But that body is different from the Sharira that it has on the earth. So to that kind of, to make that kind of travel, it needs some kind of body. So here also this body as per the Prakriti to do all the karmas
Parakaya
and all.
Pravesha. It is Parakaya Pravesha.
No. Parakaya Pravesha is totally different. We don't know. I at least don't know how much of it is possible. But no, that Atma by itself is making the travel. Once it leaves this Sharira on the earth, it is either it has to go on into its next cycle, right? Whether it is going to attain moksha or whether it is going to another body. Before it is entering into another body, it has some travel. It cannot, the minute it leaves this body, it cannot enter another body. It has to travel. During the travel, it will assume another body. For that support only, we do all these karmas. The people on the earth, the family of that particular soul will perform all these rituals to show that support, basically. It is like we discussed this in one of the previous classes. So when somebody is going, when our children are traveling to another state or a country for college, we prepare them, right? We make them food, we make them that. So they feel more comfortable having things. They feel that support is there. No matter where I go, I have this until I settle down there. That kind of support, only for that support, to provide that support system, because not every soul is strong at the time of leaving the body. Many times the soul is very afraid to leave the body because they don't know how it is going to be. So many people fear death. So they are not sure what is going to happen after death. So that fear is there. So for that Atma to show some support, to be able to go, to make the travel, otherwise it will be lingering here only. even though it leaves the body, it keeps lingering here. So to give it that support to move forward, all these rituals are there. So it will gain that support and comfort. It will go into that comfort zone. Okay, I have the support. Now I can move on to the next, whatever is awaiting. But it will feel that support. So that support will give it the strength. So it will go. But this is not needed for all the Jivatmas. There are some Jivatmas which do Abhyasa here itself. The more you are connected to the Paramatma, the less support you need from the people here. So when the body leaves, when the Jivatma leaves the Sharira, it does not need any support. It is more than prepared because of the Abhyasa. So it will move forward. It won't wait for the things that people are going to give. It won't wait. The minute it leaves the body, done. It will go ahead with its journey. This is what I understood from reading several things. Okay, so that is always there. I haven't gone and seen all this, so I cannot say this is exactly what will be happening. But from what I read in many places or listening to some pravachanas, this is what I understood. And even in the Raghuvamsha, it clearly says that all the Raghuvamsha kings leave the body voluntarily through yoga. So that kind of abhyasa is there. They very easily they leave the body through yoga abhyasa. And yoga means not this physical yoga that we do today. It is the abhyasa of the mind. This is the abhyasa of the mind. Yoga means meditation. Meditation means being able to focus with your mind, standing like focus, making the mind focus. So they are so focused on the Paramatma that it is very easy for them, that separation has already happened, that detachment has already happened. So they are able to easily leave, the body and move forward. And there is one king in particular who was mentioned in the Raghuvamsha Kavya, that he is even more, his abhyasa is so much that he was not even expecting any karmas from his sons and grandsons while when he leaves the body. So that is when I understood that all these are for that support. It is a support system basically. So when a child comes, when a baby comes into the world, the family supports it because it is very helpless in the initial stages. It is not like how most of the animals are. The minute they are born, they are on their own. It is not like that with humans. They need care for so many years, even before they can survive on their own. So that support system is there. Similarly, even when a soul, the Jivatma leaves the Sharira, that also especially when that person is not oriented towards the Abhyasa, Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, or any kind of Adhyatma Abhyasa is not there, they will be very much afraid of the death. And even if they are not afraid, they are totally ignorant of how to handle the situation. They are so much attached to the materialistic world around them. So it will be difficult for them to leave and make the travel. So for that also, all these karma kandas will help for it to make the transition, because we cannot stop the Jivatma from leaving the Sharira. That cannot be stopped. So that has to happen. When that happens, and if the person is not ready for it, then the family will support or try to make them move forward with this support. That is why the rituals are done. And when the rituals are not done, and if the person did not have any kind of abhyasa before he leaves, it will be difficult for them. So they linger much longer. They linger much longer, and that will cause more pain.
Yes.
So that is the reason. So all this depends on how much of abhyasa is done going forward. So this is all, the Jivatma is an amsha of the Paramatma, but whatever it is acquiring outside is completely illusion, is Maya. So here exactly the meaning of this particular sentence यद्यपि सुप्तौ प्रलये च तस्य मयि लये वर्तते लयौ वर्तते तथापि मायाशालित्वात् सगुणे एव मयि लयः. Means along with the gunas is still the maya, mayi layah. It is in me. Whatever you are seeing, whether it is through the gunas, through the indriyas, through whatever it is all within me. Natu maya sambandha rahityat nirvisheshe brahmani. But that one who is detached with the maya sambandha rahityam. So anyone who is not connected with this maya, with this world, means that detachment, that practice of detachment happens. Nirvisheshe brahmani. So in the Brahma. So tatascha sushuptau pralaye va samapte पुनः संसाराय निर्गच्छन् सः कर्मवशात् शरीरं प्राप्नुवन् भोगार्थं मनः प्रधानानि सर्वाण्यपि इन्द्रियाणि प्राप्नोति. So but the original, this is explaining the original entrance of the Jivatma into the Prapancha. Right?
Yes.
So here what I understood was this Maya Lokam. Ante the actual entrance I'm still not clear, but whoever is stuck in this Maya Prapancham will come back. And whoever is able to separate from the Maya is also part of Paramatma only.
Yes.
That Maya is also created by Paramatma only, right?
Yes.
So, but that first entrance into this Prapancha by the Jivatma. So we all have that question, right? When did this all start? If everything was totally clear at the very beginning, when everything is totally clear, so we always say that the karmas, based on the karmas that we do, we take birth. But when did that karma happen? When did that first body, when did the Jivatma took that first body? Only then it could have done some karmas for it to come back. But when did that very first thing happen? Right?
Yes.
So that is what is being explained here. But I also am not very clear on what exactly the philosophy behind it is. So let me look into it a little and I'll get back on that. If any others have any thoughts, it can be shared.
Sure.
Anyone else? Surya Bhagini, Alvelu Bhagini.
Mahoday.
చెప్పండి. కాదు, మీరు ఇప్పుడు మనం డిస్కస్ చేసాం కదా, సో దాని గురించి ఏమైనా ఆలోచన ఉందా మీకు?
సార్ చెప్పండి.
ఉండండి ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఇక్కడ ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు సీ దెర్ ఇస్ this one Vyakyanam given here. What it says is, if the cause is destroyed by the knowledge of the self, its effect is also annihilated, just as the tortoise stretches out its head and feet, which were in a state of laya, means absorption. Here, laya means absorption in its body. So also the individual soul stretches out its mind and senses, which were in a state of absorption in the primordial ignorance in deep sleep, to enjoy the sensual objects in the waking state. A ray of the Supreme Being enters nature, draws to itself the five senses and the mind. In this verse, the formation of the astral body, means the Sukshma Sharira, is described. The Shruti declares that supreme being itself, having created this aggregate of the body from the head to the toe, entered this body in the form of the jiva. So I was saying, no, there is another name for that sharira. It is a sukshma sharira.
Sukshma sharira.
According to Vedanta, there are 19 principles, the 5 organs of knowledge, the 5 organs of action. Yeah, all these. And taking all these, it will assume this Jivatma. Okay. So what it is saying is, at the end of the Kali Yuga, say for example, what is said, everything is destroyed, nothing will be left. So what will happen to the jivatmas that have accumulated some kind of karma, right? They have accumulated some punyam and papam and all that. So at the end of the world, when everything is destroyed, what happens to them? So they will go into that state of laya. State of laya means like how a tortoise, what will a tortoise do? It has a shell.
అన్ని ప్రకృతిలో ముడుచుకుపోతాయి.
All the legs and head and feet, it will pull inside into the shell, and it will go into a state of dormancy. Means it will not move.
Yeah.
Anybody who sees will think it is dead. Like that it will become. Only when it again feels safe, and here I'm talking only about the tortoise, only when it feels safe or when the weather conditions are favorable again for it, then it will awake and again spread out its legs and its head also, it will stretch out. Like that, at the time of at the end of the Kali Yuga, say for example, or at the final destruction of the world, all the jivatmas also will go into that state of laya. And they are there like that until again the world becomes favorable for the existence. That is when again the Prakriti will become alive, means the Maya again. That is nothing but again the Maya of the Paramatma. And then all the Jivatmas which are in that state of Laya are again coming out. And whatever they have accumulated before the destruction of the world, according to that again they will take shape.
Okay.
That is what I have understood.
Yes.
But again, before going into that state of laya, before that, this is a cycle again. So at the very first point, what did they have?
అవి ఒక రూపంతో ఉండవు కదా, భగవంతుడిలోకి లయం అయిపోయి ఉంటాయండి.
అవునవును, బట్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ ఇస్ భగవంతుల్లో ఏకమైపోయి ఉంటాయి. కాకపోతే వాట్ ఆర్ దే క్యారీయింగ్ ద వెరీ ఫస్ట్ టైం? హౌ డస్ ఇట్ come with karmas? Like, do they have already any accumulated karmas, or when they first come, when the very, very first time? So that is why they say there is no beginning and ending for this creation. That is the reason.
అనుకోవచ్చు ఇందులో. ఎలాగంటే ఇప్పుడు కృతయుగము, త్రేతాయుగము, ద్వాపరయుగము, కలియుగము కదా. కలియుగంలో అన్ని పాపులు అయ్యేది, పుణ్యులు అయ్యేది, అందరూ భగవంతుడిలో కలిసిపోతారు. కలిసిపోయిన తర్వాత అంటే ఇప్పుడు మోక్షం వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు మళ్ళీ పుట్టరు కదా. ఏ యుగంలో ఇదైనా కూడా అందులో ఇంకా లయించడమే ఉండదు, పుట్టరు వాళ్ళు మళ్ళీ. అయితే కృతయుగంలో అందరూ సాత్వికులే ఉంటారని చెప్పేస్తాను కదా అనుకునేది. కృతయుగంలో అందరూ సాత్వికులే ఉంటారు, పాపాత్ములు ఎక్కువ ఉండరు. అక్కడక్కడ అంటే విత్తనాల్లో కొంత విధి నడవడానికి అని చెప్పేసి ఉంటారు, కానీ అందులో అందరూ కూడా మంచి వాళ్ళే ఉంటారు. వాళ్ళ కర్మల వల్ల మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు వస్తారు తప్పించి, అంటే ఇంకా పాప పుణ్యాలు ఇవి ఏమి ఉండవు నేను అనుకోవడం అయితే. మా ఆత్మలన్నీ ఎన్ని ఆత్మలైతే లయం అయిపోయాయో అన్నాత్మలు వాటి ఇదిని బట్టి అలా పుడుతూ ఉంటాయి మళ్ళీ. అంతే, కృతయుగంలో అంతా స్వచ్ఛంగానే పుడతాయి మళ్ళీ. అంటే ఒక మూల రూపమైనటువంటి విత్తనాన్ని తీసుకెళ్ళి ఎక్కడైనా దాచి అలా నాటినట్టుగా. మనకు ఉదాహరణగా కావాలంటే ఇప్పుడు ఔషధులన్నింటినీ భూదేవి దాచుకుని గోమాత రూపం దాల్చి తనలో దాచేసుకుని వెళ్ళిపోతుంటే పృథు చక్రవర్తి పాల కింద పిండాడు అని చెప్పేసి అంటారు. అంటే ఔషధులు ఏ రూపంలో ఉన్నాయి? పాల రూపంలో బయటకు వచ్చాయి, మళ్ళీ ఔషధుల కింద మారాయి కదా అవి. అలాగే జనాలు కూడా అలా జీవాత్మలన్నీ కలిసిపోయినా కానీ అంతదాకా చేసుకుని పాప పుణ్యాలతోటి వాళ్ళు అనుభవించడం అయిపోయింది. మళ్ళీ ఫ్రెష్ గానే అందరూ సత్వగుణంతో పుడతారు, మళ్ళీ ఏదో తప్పులు చేస్తారు, మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ అలా పుడుతూ ఉంటారు అంతే. అది చర్వితి శర్వణంలో వస్తుంది తప్పించి ఈ పాపాలు మళ్ళీ కృతయుగం దాకా అయితే ఉంటాయని చెప్పేసి అనుకోను నేనైతే. అంటే ఫ్రెష్ గా స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. లేకపోతే కృతయుగంలో కూడా అంతా చెడే జరగాలి కదా. మామూలుగా కృతయుగంలో అయితే ఏం చెప్తారు?
సో if there is no sin or పుణ్యాలు పాపాలు ఏమి లేవు అంటే మరి ఈవెన్ ఇన్ ద సత్యయుగ, even in the Krita Yuga or the Satya Yuga, there are some people who are doing certain థింగ్స్ కదా. అప్పుడు కూడా అసురులు అసలంటూ ఉన్నారు కదా. వాళ్ళు వై ఆర్ దే డూయింగ్ దోస్ థింగ్స్ దట్ దే ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఇఫ్ దే డిడ్ నాట్ కమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎనీ అక్యుములేటెడ్ సిన్?
వాళ్ళు అసురులు అంటూ ఇంకా వేరేగా ఉండరు. వాళ్ళు పుట్టి మళ్ళీ చేసే పాపాల వల్ల ఒక శిశువు కింద పుట్టినప్పుడు వాళ్ళల్లో అసురత్వం ఉండదు. పెరిగిన తర్వాత చుట్టూరాన్న ప్రభావాల వల్ల, స్వార్థాల వల్ల, వాటి వల్ల మారుతుంది. కానీ ఎందుకంటే కృతయుగం వచ్చేసరికి మళ్ళీ ఈ పాపాత్ముల కింద ఉండరు, మళ్ళీ సృష్టి మొదలైనట్టే కదా మొదటి నుంచి అక్కడ. అందుకని చెప్పేసి అంతా ఫ్రెష్ గానే ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఒక చెట్టు కాయ మనం వేస్తే అది మొక్క కింద ఉన్నప్పుడు దానికి తర్వాత పురుగు పడితే తప్పించి మొక్క కింద ఉన్నప్పుడు దాంట్లో ఏమీ చెడేమి ఉండదు ఫస్ట్ లో వచ్చినప్పుడు.
కొన్ని జెనెటికల్ గా క్యారీ అవుతాయి అని అంటారు. ఈవెన్ ఇన్ ద సీడ్ సర్టెన్ జెనెటికల్ డిసీజెస్ కెన్ బి క్యారీడ్.
అంటే స్టార్టింగ్ లో ఉండదు అది. ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ టైం వచ్చిన ఫలానికి ఏమి ఉండదు కదా. అది తర్వాత మనం మారుస్తాం దాన్ని ఒక రకంగా హైబ్రిడ్ అనే అదనే ఇదనే చేసి మారుస్తాం కాబట్టి అది మారుతుంది తప్పించి. అంటే నేను
మొదటి విత్తనం ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చింది మరి?
మొదటి విత్తనం సృష్టిస్తే వస్తుంది అదంతే.
అదే
విత్తు ముందా అని చెప్పేసి అంటే అది ఒక పరిమాణ దశలో. ఇప్పుడు ఒక శిశువు ఎలా జన్మించింది? ఉట్టి రక్తమును మట్టే కదా అందులో ఉన్నది. శిశువు ఎలా జన్మించింది? దాని అంతటా అదే రూపుదిద్దుకుంటుంది అంతే. చెట్టు కింద రూపుదిద్దుకుంటుందా, లేకపోతే విత్తు కింద రూపుదిద్దుకుంటుందా ఏదనేది ఇదేంటి మనం అందులోకి వెళ్ళినా కూడా మనకి తెలవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, తెలవదు అంతే. అది
So basically that question of the very beginning, the first step, whether they carry from the what Surya Bhagini is saying is at the end of Kali Yuga, when the destruction happens, everything will be destroyed. Even the Jivatma's punyam or papam will not be carried again into the next creation. That is what Surya Bhagini is saying. But I have a feeling that they might be carried, which even I am not sure, but I'm just assuming that because when they come back, they still come back with until the good and bad are coming back. So let me research a little bit and then we'll discuss on that.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒకటి అనుకోండి, ఇప్పుడు మరి ఎప్పుడు కృతయుగంలో
సాత్వికంగానే ఉంటుంది. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బి సాత్వికం ఓన్లీ.
దేవతలు మానవులు కలిసి ఉండేవారు. అక్కడ వాళ్ళు ఇక్కడికి వస్తుండేవారు, ఇక్కడికి వాళ్ళు అక్కడికి వెళ్తుండేవారు.
So maybe why can't we think like this? So say for example at the end of Kali Yuga there are some people who have done only punyam, there are some people who have done both punyam and papam, and there are some people who did only papams. Okay, and the world is totally destroyed, and at that time there are only very very few people who did only punyam. The sattvikas are very very few in number at the end of Kali Yuga, right? So in Satya Yuga also the population is very 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 less. There are very few people and all of them are sattvikas. So why can't we think that from the end of Kali Yuga, whoever few people are left as sattvikas are born in the Satya Yuga at the beginning of the Satya Yuga, because they are very sattvika people, they did not do any papam, so only sattvikas are there. Here and there, one or two, the people who have done sins have come. And then as it is going, because these jivatmas are there and they return. In the previous shlokas, what did we study? Depending on how you leave your body, in what state of mind you are leaving your body, you enter into such kind of yoni again. You will make the birth. Like animals are there, even in Satya Yuga, animals are there. There are more animals actually than humans. Maybe all the ignorant people are coming back as animals in the Satya Yuga. Can we think like that?
అంటే అన్ని సాత్వికంగానే ఉంటాయి అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఇంకా అలాంటి థింకింగ్ ఉండదు కదా అప్పుడు కొత్తగా స్టార్ట్ అంటే
ఇప్పుడు see a jivatma takes a body of a animal only when it leaves the body in ignorance. అది పరమాత్మ తత్వజ్ఞానం కొంచెం కూడా లేకోకుండా
ఒక్క నిమిషం
when the person is dying, if he thinks about his pet, like a dog or cat, whatever, he was very much worried about that animal, and he leaves his body, then he may take the pet's
body. Really?
There was a rishi,
if he leaves the body, in the next janma, he may take his pet's like animal. He may born as an animal.
There was a story, Jatabaradha, he was thinking about a deer. He was very much close to the deer. He was doing a lot of practice, controlling senses and all. But he saw a deer, baby deer suffering. So he just started giving his importance to that. And he left his body with thinking that deer only. So next janma, he took birth as Jatabaradha. Yeah, Jatabaradha. Yeah, Jatabaradha. Yeah. He became deer only in the next birth. And due to his previous karma, he somehow left the body of deer and he took his normal. Next janma, he got his normal human body. It seems.
So that was very brief. The janma as the deer was very brief. Is it very brief? Like he took the janma of a deer, you said, no?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That is only for a short time.
Yeah, short time.
And then again he's born as human. Those things will be there. Those things, when somebody does some bad, immediately they'll take the life of some animal, or sometimes even like stillbirth humans, like soon after they are born they will die. All those will happen. No, putting that aside, now the discussion is Surya Bhagini says at the end of the Kali Yuga, when the destruction happens, all accounts are cleared. Nobody's papam punyam records are there. Everybody will start fresh, is what she says. I have to verify. I don't know that part.
That is not fact, Bhagini. All will have their own papam punyam. According to that, they will get their births.
So she says in Satya Yuga, only Satvika, more Satvika people are there. So then what about the people who have accrued sin? So then what I was saying is...
But unknowingly they have done the papam rude things. Unknowingly, not knowingly. In Satya Yuga, unknowingly they have done some things wrong.
Oh, that is how again they will continue to accumulate the sin. And
that's my opinion. Unknowingly they have done. Unknowingly,
not knowing the knowledge or the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, because they don't have Paramatma Tattva Jnanam by then. They might have done some mistakes unknowingly, and that is how in their next janma they again become idi. Okay. That is also one good thought, good analysis. But what about the animals that take birth in the Satya Yuga?
Animals that take birth, they they are the sinners in the Kali Yuga. They take birth as animals. That's my opinion.
So the sin is being carried from the end of Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga.
To the next, to the next Yuga also.
That is
Puranas
also one
have
thought.
So many Satya Yuga, so many Treta Yuga, so many yugas are there.
So many cycles of yugas are there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to verify this though.
Yes.
అంటే ఒకటి అనుకోవచ్చుగా ఇప్పుడు కలియుగం చిగురుకు వచ్చేసరికి వాళ్ళు అనుభవించాల్సిన పాపాలు పుణ్యాలన్నీ అనుభవించేస్తారు అనుకుంటా. అంటే ఇంకా పాపం పెరిగిపోతుంది ఇది అంటే వాళ్ళకి వచ్చే వాళ్ళ ఆత్మలకు వచ్చే శిక్షలు కూడా అన్ని బతికుండగానే ఇక్కడే అనుభవించేస్తారు. ఇప్పుడు రోగాలతో బాధపడుతూ ఉంటారు కదా జనాలు. జనరల్ గా ఏమంటారు, వాళ్ళ కర్మ ఇక్కడ అయిపోతుందంటారు. ఎప్పుడో చేసుకున్న కర్మ ఎక్కువ రోజులు అలా మంచం మీద ఉండి రోగాలతో తీసుకునే వాళ్ళని వాళ్ళ కర్మ ఇక్కడ అయిపోతుంది చాలా వరకు అని అంటారు. అలాగా కలియుగాంతం వరకు ఉండడమే ఒక రకమైన పాపకర్మ అనుకోవాలి.
That is also a good thought. So what చెప్పండి.
అంత బాధ అనుభవించిన తర్వాత ఇంకా వాళ్ళకి ఇదేంటిది ఒక సృష్టిలో అలా లయం అయిపోతున్నప్పుడు వాళ్ళ దృష్టి కూడా నేను అనుకోవడం భగవంతుడి మీద దేని మీద అలాగే ఉండొచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళందరూ నీళ్లలో మునిగిపోయో అగ్నిలో కాలిపోయో చచ్చిపోతారు తప్పించి అలా కళ్ళు మూసుకుని నిద్రలో ప్రాణాలు పోయినట్టుగా ఉండరు కదా అందరూ.
అవును, కలియుగాంతంలో ప్రళయం వచ్చినప్పుడు
అంత బాధపడ్డప్పుడు.
But at the time of death, what is in their mind, it reflects in the other janma, in the other birth.
సూర్య భగిని ఏమంటున్నారంటే at the time of death they will be that realization will come because by then they have experienced their sins through diseases and all. So maybe they will by the end of Kali Yuga everybody would have cleared all their sins and that state of mind will be clear. So everybody's records will be cleared. That is how Surya Bhagini feels.
Okay, but మనకి అంటారు కదా భగిని, అంటే మనం చనిపోయేటప్పుడు ఏ భావనతో ఉంటే తర్వాత దాంట్లో ఆ భావనతోనే మనకి జన్మ వస్తుంది అని. అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ యువర్ మైండ్ వెన్ యు ఆర్
correct. That is until the Kali Yuga, before and just before the Kali Yuga ends. But what Bhagini is saying is at that end of Kali Yuga, ante when the pralaya is going to happen, at that point of time whoever is remaining on the earth will be experiencing their sin through diseases or whatever difficulties they have.
Some people experiences these are all about my sins I am suffering, but some people then also they blame others or God or something.
Yeah, so that part will
when realization came, their sins will be vanished. But no, if they have no realization.
Okay, so that point we'll put it aside for now. I will also listen to a few to what other people have said, or vyakyanams. Let me go through some vyakyanams also, and we'll see what happens at the end of Kali Yuga, whether everybody's accounts will be cleared or will they be carrying it into the Satya Yuga again. Okay, that even I am not sure, but here this sentence also we have to understand.
That we have to ask for any experts. Have to take experts' advice.
Okay, coming to the next shloka, Alivelu Bhagini.
భగిని ఏకం నిమిషం. I will go into the room. There is a disturbance here. శరీరం యదవాప్నోతి యచ్చాప్యుత్క్రామతీశ్వరః गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्
यत् अवाप्नोति यत् अपि उत्क्रामति ईश्वरः गृहीत्वा एतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि इव आशयात् शरीरं प्रथमा एकवचनं नपुंसकलिङ्गं यत् प्रथमा एकवचनम् अवाप्नोति आप्नोति प्रथमपुरुषा लट्लकारम् एकवचनं यत् प्रथमा एकवचनम् अपि अव्ययम् उत्क्रामति लट्लकारं प्रथमपुरुषा एकवचनम् ईश्वरः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं गृहीत्वा त्वान्तम् अव्ययम् एतानि द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं संयाति प्रथमा पुरुषा एकवचनं वायुर्गन्धानि द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचनं एतानि కూడా द्वितीया विभक्ति बहुवचनं ఇందాక गन्धानि अवाशयात् लट्लकारं
आशयात् अवाशयात् कादु गन्धान् इव आशयात्
गन्धान् इव आशयात् लट्लकारं కాదు కదా లోట్లకారం
పంచమి ఏకవచనం ఆశయ इस् द प्रातिपदिकं पंचमी
एकवचनम् आशय पदार्थः ईश्वरः जीवः अवाप्नोति लभते उत्क्रामति निर्गच्छति आशयात् आधारात् कुसुमादेः गन्धान् इव सौरभम् इव गृहीत्वा स्वीकृत्य संयाति गच्छति अन्वयः ईश्वरः यत् शरीरम् अवाप्नोति यत् च अपि उत्क्रामति वायुः आशयात् गन्धान् इव एतानि गृहीत्वा संयाति तात्पर्यम् सुषुप्तौ प्रलये वा समाप्ते सविशेषे ब्रह्मणि लीनः जीवः पूर्वस्मात् शरीरात् निर्गत्य स्वकर्मवशात् शरीरान्तरं यदा प्राप्नोति तदा वायुः पुष्पात् गन्धमिव पूर्वस्मात् शरीरात् सर्वाण्यपि इन्द्रियाणि गृहीत्वैव शरीरान्तरं प्रविशति ततश्च सविशेषे ब्रह्मणि लीनस्यैव संसारं प्रति पुनरागमनं न पुनः उपाधिभूतस्य शरीरस्य अनाशात् निर्विशेषे ब्रह्मणि लीनस्य इति मन्तव्यम् क्रियाविपदम् अवाप्नोति संयाति
उत्क्रामति अपि अस्ति
उत्क्रामति अपि
So here look at the tatparyam sushuptau pralaye va samapte savisheshe brahmani leenah जीवः पूर्वस्मात् शरीरात् निर्गत्य स्वकर्मवशात् शरीरान्तरं यदा प्राप्नोति तदा वायुः पुष्पात् गन्धमिव पूर्वस्मात् शरीरात् सर्वाण्यपि इन्द्रियाणि गृहीत्वा एव शरीरान्तरं प्रविशति ततश्च सविशेषे ब्रह्मणि लीनस्यैव संसारं प्रति पुनरागमनं न पुनः उपाधिभूतस्य शरीरस्य अनाशात् निर्विशेषे ब्रह्मणि लीनस्य इति मन्तव्यम् So, in general, this is what happens, that we know. The only doubt that we had was at the end of Kali Yuga, what happens at the time of destruction. But otherwise, whenever Jivatma leaves the body, what happens? It will
take another body.
It will take another body. Until it takes another body, sometimes it can be in the Punya Lokas also. If he has done more punyam, very good deeds, very few bad deeds, For the bad deeds, he will take the punishment. For the good deeds, he will sometimes be in a Devalokas, in the Devalokas, Pitralokas for a very long time. But once all that is used up, he again has to come back to take the body. And when he again gets the body, then what happens? Wherever or at whatever condition he left the body in the previous life, and during that time, whatever senses he had, all that will come back again the minute he assumes this body. Vatine we call vasanas. Like how the vayu, when the breeze goes upon a fragrance, even when we are a little far away, the wind that comes over the flowers is carrying the scent of the flower, right?
The flowers.
We are not smelling the flower, but the wind that is coming over the flowers is carrying that scent, which we are able to smell. Similarly, the Jivatma, which is, we can assume that it is going through the bodies. So whatever vasanas it has accumulated in the previous body, the minute it takes the new body, again they will come back. That is the reason why the people have so many different habits or things that they do, good or bad, that they carry.
దీనికి ఒక కథ కూడా ఉంది, పరమాచార్య స్వామి వారు చెప్పింది. ఒక అప్పుడే పుట్టిన ప్రసూతి వార్డుకి వెళ్ళి అందరినీ చూసిరా, అప్పుడే పుట్టిన బిడ్డల్ని వాళ్ళ ఇది ఎలా ఉంది, వాళ్ళ బ్యాకప్స్. సమ్ ఆర్ బోర్న్ ఇన్ రిచ్ ఫ్యామిలీ, ఏసీ రూమ్లు హాయిగా అలా ఉంటారు. సమ్ చైల్డ్స్ ఫాదర్ ఈజ్ లుకింగ్ ఫర్ ద పేమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ద హాస్పిటల్ బిల్స్. అట్లా వాళ్ళు ఏ పాపం ఏ పుణ్యం చేశారని వాళ్ళు పుడుతూనే అలా వచ్చారు. దట్ ఈస్ ది పునర్జన్మ సిద్ధాంతం అని ఆయన చెప్పారు అని ఒక కథ ఉంది పరమాచార్య స్వామి గారు.
Definitely. Even among animals also, some pet animals are being taken care of so nicely, so lovingly, whereas the street dogs, they are not fed. They are always constantly looking for their survival. Even among humans, some children are abandoned. Some children are being taken care of by their parents in a very loving way. Some children, though they are not abandoned, are not being taken care with so much of love in their families. So like this, there are so many things happening. So all this, again, not only that, again, what I am talking here is the characteristics. The characteristics of a person also is because of what vasanas they had from the previous lives. Like we discussed in the last class, some people are afraid of lizards or cockroaches or certain animals for which you need not be so much afraid. Nobody likes them, but there is no reason to have that kind of fear. A little bit of fear everybody has, but some people have unusual fear towards even such small insects. That is again can be taken as some Purva Janma Vasana. Afraid of the heights, afraid of water, too much of fright of water. Everybody is afraid if they fall into the river or ocean, but not like that. Even when they see a very small pool of water also, they get afraid, unusually afraid. So such things are because of the Purva Janma Vasanas, we can say. So here, Shariram yat avapnoti, yat cha api utkramati, means when the body leaves, when it leaves the body and when it obtains the body, Ishvaraha grihitva etani sanyati, vayuhu gandhan iva. So here Ishvaraha can be taken as the Jivatma or the Paramatma.
ఈశ్వరః యత్ శరీరం అవాప్నోతి. ఈశ్వరః అంటే శరీరం అవాప్నోతి కాబట్టి పరమాత్మ అనే తీసుకోవాలి. శరీరం వచ్చాక జీవాత్మ అవుతాడు కదా. ఈశ్వరః యత్ శరీరం అవాప్నోతి. అంటే మాయలోకి ఈశ్వర అంశ వచ్చినప్పుడు
జీవాత్మని. హియర్ ఇన్ దిస్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ జీవాత్మ.
Okay.
శరీరం ఈశ్వరः శరీరం యత్ అవాప్నోతి యత్ చ అపి ఉత్క్రామతి ఏతాని గృహీత్వా సంయాతి. Taking these. And what are these? The qualities from the previous life.
Purvajanma vasana. Utkamati is
leaving.
Leaves.
Leaving. Avapnoti is to obtain. So Ishvaraha, Jivaha, Avapnoti, Labhate, or Utkramati, Nirgachati, Ashayat, Adharat, Gandhaniva. Here Ashayat means like from the flowers, like how the wind carries the scent from the flowers. Like that, the Jivatma also takes from the life that has been spent, it carries.
Yeah.
Okay, the senses, whatever is on the mind. Like you said earlier, a person was thinking of the deer. So he was carrying that with him. So that quality, with that quality he is born. But again, soon after, that is not a big dosham, right? So, but still it has to be cleared. So to clear that, he took form of the birth of a deer, and then shortly again, once that is done and cleared, he again took the life of a human, depending on how his karmas are.
Yes.
And so these all will come back only when it takes the body again. So during that state of non-existent in the body, all these will be at rest. We can take it like that. All the qualities will be at rest. Only when it picks up another body, all these vasanas come. Like that also maybe we can assume. ఎందుకంటే యత్ శరీరం అవాప్నోతి యత్ చ అపి ఉత్క్రామతి వాయుః ఆశయాత్ గంధానివ ఏతాని గృహీత్వా సంయాతి. సో సుషుప్తౌ ప్రళయే వా సమాప్తే సవిశేషే బ్రహ్మణి లీనః జీవః. సవిశేషే means with all the qualities. It is the jivaha is in the brahmani, means in the parabrahma, it is resting. Purvasmat sharirat nirgatya swakarma vashat sharirantaram yada prapnoti. So purvasmat sharirat nirgatya swakarma vashat. So whatever it gathered from the previous sharira, and because of the karmas that it did, when it again enters another sharira, sharirantaram yada prapnoti tada vayuhu pushpat gandhamiva purvasmat sharirat sarvanyapi indriyani grihitva eva or grihitva iva sharirantaram pravishati. This new sharira it will take along with the whatever vasanas it had in the previous sharira. Tatascha savisheshe brahmani leenasya eva samsaram prati punaragamanam. Okay, savisheshe, along with its qualities, gunas, whatever vasanas it accumulated, brahmani leenasya iva or eva means it is in the brahmani. When it leaves the sharira, it briefly goes into the creator, right? The brahma. We can look at it like that. It dissolves into some other world, not in the world that we exist. It will dissolve into some other world, which it is being referred to as brahmani here. Leenasya eva samsaram prati punaragamanam. Again, when it comes back, na punaha upadhi bhutasya sharirasya anashat nirvisheshe brahmani leenasya iti mantavyam. So what is the meaning of this last part?
Anashat nirvisheshe
na punaha upadhi bhutasya sharirasya anashat nirvisheshe brahmani leenasya iti mantavyam. So what it means is anashat. What is anashat?
Which is not dissolved. I mean, nasha.
Indestructible.
Nivisheshe brahmani. Sharirasya anashat nirvisheshe brahmani leenasya. So the Brahma, the Parabrahma is Nirvishesha and Anasha. It cannot be destroyed, it does not carry any qualities of its own. But when the Sharira comes, what is it picking it up from? Where is it picking it up from? From the previous Sharira. Whatever it accumulated in the previous Sharira, that is what is coming into this new Sharira, not from the Brahma, where it is resting in between. Why? Because that Brahma in which it is resting in between is Nirvishesha. It does not have any qualities or it does not accumulate anything. So it is not picking up from there, it is picking up from whatever it accumulated from before. And they come into action only when it takes up the new Sharira. Okay?
So complicated this life.
ఉపాధి భూతస్య శరీరస్య అంటే మనం పాత శరీరంలో ఏ ఉపాధులు చేశామో సాత్ నిర్విశేషే బ్రహ్మణి లీనస్య వాటితో సహా ఆయనలో లీనం అవుతామని అంతేనా ఇది మంతవ్యం
అంటే basically the Jivatma will take several lives, it will take several shariras. Whatever it accumulated in one sharira, it will be there and it will come into action only when it takes up the new sharira.
Another body.
Between the shariras, it will have a time where it is resting. During that time, during that time, it is resting. So when it is taking up the new sharira, we should not think it is coming from the Paramatma. So these qualities are also from the Paramatma, we cannot think. Yes, because the Paramatma by himself does not have any qualities or any anything associated with it, right? Anything associated, any qualities or vasanas?
యాతన శరీరం స్థూల శరీరం అంటాం కదా, ఈ సూక్ష్మ శరీరంతో ఈ స్థూల శరీరం వన్నీ తీసుకుని వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ ఇంకో స్థూల శరీరానికి వచ్చినప్పుడు ఈ సూక్ష్మ శరీరం వన్నీ దాంట్లోకి వస్తాయి.
కరెక్ట్. Yeah, Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram. Sthula Shariram is the ones that we have right now. The Sukshma Shariram is the ones that I was telling you about earlier. When the Jivatma leaves the Sthula Shariram and it is making its journey into the next Sharira, it needs the Sukshma Shariram to make the travel.
Yes.
And during that time, it will only have to contemplate on what it has done in this Sharira. When it leaves the Sharira, that is what happens. It will think, look back, and think what are the things that it did, all that. So during that time, it will think. So that is how it will choose its next Garbham.
Yes.
That is also there. It will choose its own Garbham in the next life based on what it needs to work upon. Say, for example, in this life, it had difficulty controlling its anger. Say, for example, as simple as that. So, but some people, they are aware of the problem that they have and they are doing abhyasa on that. So, they are doing abhyasa on controlling their anger, say, for example. And during that time, they leave the body. So when they leave the body, the Jivatma will be thinking, what are the things that I need to work upon? So because it has been working upon controlling the anger, it still wants to continue because it did not complete that abhyasa. And only once you complete all these step by step, you will be able to obtain Paramatma Tattva Jnanam and attain moksha. So all these we have to work on. So here, right now, this particular Jivatma is working on the anger issues. So it will go into a Garbham where in that family, it will have opportunities to do that abhyasa. Means there will be some member of the family who will always make them angry. So now the Jivatma already knows, I have to do abhyasa on this. So whenever that other family member is giving difficult time, and whenever that opportunity to become angry is coming, that is when that abhyasa will start. Okay, I have to take this opportunity to do abhyasa. I should not get angry. Why am I getting angry? That kind of reasoning will be there. That is how it will choose the Garbham. Only when it is conscious and working on that issue. Now, some people will be angry, but they don't realize that they have to work on it and do abhyasa to reduce their anger. They are not aware of that. Such people will not get that kind of family which will help them overcome that anger. Whatever they are working on, that kind. So like that. These are, yeah, like a very complex system, but very well inbuilt. So Paramatma is only watching, simply sitting back and watching and laughing, right? At all the avasthas that the Jivatma is going through. So, so that is how it is, we can think. So whatever, those can be considered as the vasanas. Those can be considered as the vasanas, whatever abhyasa is going on. Some people keep telling themselves, oh, in my next life, I should be born, more beautifully or more rich so that I can buy more things that I want, which I'm not able to get in this life. Like this, everybody's goals are different. Everybody thinking is different. Based on that, their vasanas will be there. Based on that, their next janma will be there. Now, but one thing what we have to remember is whatever we do does not go as a waste. Whatever abhyasa we do, many people, that is where they are stuck. They feel that at this age, what can I start? I have very less time, very few years. What can I start? So there is no point. So let me just not start. Let me continue whatever I'm doing. They get the realization. But then they will think, okay, now at this age, what can I do? I cannot do anything anyways. So let me leave. Let me just continue my old routine. So that we have to understand that whatever abhyasa we do, even in the last minute, even when the Jivatma is right about to leave the body, even then, if some kind of realization comes also, it still is beneficial. That is the reason why they make the person who is ready to leave the body say Narayana, Narayana. You think of Narayana, you think of this. Even in that last minute, that is the reason why the family tells them. And if they are not in a state of saying because of physical sickness or anything, they will play the words, or somebody else will say the words in their ear,
Yes.
so that
In
their
their ear,
drishti will, whatever they are thinking, when they hear the name Narayana, the mind will, at least for a while, it will come on to Narayana. So that is the goal. That is why the family members keep repeating that name in their ears, because they have not done by themselves until then. So at least at the time of departure, if they think even for a second about Narayana, there will be some benefit. So,
Sajamiladi Karana.
So whatever abhyasa that we do, we need not think it is a waste because we are unable to complete it. We will pick it off where we leave here. But that should be on our mind. That should be always on our mind. So that also we have to do abhyasa. Because at the time of leaving, we don't know when that call comes, when we are going to leave. So that, because if somebody asks you, they come to you and say, come on, pack your bags, let us go to some place. What will you do? You will forget half the things. We will only pack some things because we are given such a short time. We cannot think everything. So we'll put some, but we'll definitely forget some. Right? Similarly, this also, that abhyasa is needed. Otherwise, suddenly when the call comes, we will not be able to remember everything. And if we forget, then we cannot carry that into our next Janma. And if it is something that we really want to work on, then we will miss that opportunity. So constantly, whatever we want to carry on into our next lives, that mananam we have to always do. Whatever it is, it can be anything as simple as I want to learn singing, I want to dance, I want to, do this, do that, anything good. We can continue reminding ourselves constantly so that, and abhyasa also we have to do because we still have time. And then in the next life, we can pick it off where we left. So we need not think that we have only so many years, and in this age, physically also it is not possible to do a lot. But whatever we are able to, we can do. Sometimes that will help us become more physically active also. So
Kaliyugamlo Namajapam is sufficient. That is what is said in.
Namajapam is sufficient. What I am saying is like some things that you want to do, but which you are unable to do.
If we are unable to do anything, just Namajapam, chant Namajapam. Sit in a place, chant japam. అది ఈజీ మెథడ్ కూడా ఇచ్చారు మనం.
అవునవునవును. Yeah, that is there. The japam is the best way in the Kali Yuga. For us, what I was telling about is, say for example, all of us are learning or studying Bhagavad Gita shlokas and understanding them at this point in our lives, right? We were not able to do that when we were really young. If we had done this at a really young age, maybe there were certain things which we would have done a little differently.
Yes.
Right? So that is what I'm saying. Doing such things. అంటే మనకి అవేర్నెస్ లేక చేయలేనివి ఇప్పుడు అవేర్నెస్ వచ్చినప్పుడు even now we can do is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Which we were unable to do because we didn't know that at that point of time. Only now we got this opportunity. Some people, even though they get an opportunity today, they feel that, what am I going to do learning it now? Some people think that because they don't know that we can carry it into our next life. Whatever you started now and constantly thinking about now, you can still carry it. That part, because we don't know that, many people give up. They think, what am I going to do now learning it here? I will die in another 5 years. So what is the point? And so they will give it up. But what I am saying is, for such people, we can tell that, no, even now, if we start, we can continue carry this forward into our next life. What do you want to become in your next life? How do you want to lead your next life?
Last lecture is a book actually written by a last lecture. I have read it.
Yes. I also read that book. Very good book. So we have to start thinking in that way. What do I want to do in my next life? Like how we plan, what should I cook for tomorrow? What should I do when, after our children leave the house? Or what should I do for my children, for the grandkids? We are planning everything, right? So why not plan for ourselves in the next life? If we are in that spiritual path and if we want to pursue that path, why not set aside some time to think about it and plan how to go about it? Because if we think about it in the next life, we will start thinking about it at an early age. So we will study that at an early age. So we can put it into practice at an early age. Yes. So we cannot, some people say, oh, everything is already destined. So whatever is destined will happen. Our prayatna is not worth. That is how some people say. That is only to escape. That is only to escape hard work.
Yes.
No, like they say that, people, because that is the reason why Paramatma gave us buddhi. Why? To think what is good, what is bad. Constantly thinking, every action that we are doing, thinking if it is as per the dharma, if it is it our duty, is it paradharmas or swadharma? That also we have to look into. And as per the dharma, is it our responsibility as a member of this family, citizen of this country, like that, and as a human? These are the three levels. So as per that, is it our duty? And if we think it is our duty, we have to do it. If it is not our duty, then we need not do it. And yatha shakti, all these principles we have to follow and do. So that if we keep constantly thinking about that, in the next life, we will start it early on. So we can shape our life in a better way. Like how Bhagini said earlier, unknowingly we will do some mistakes. We can avoid doing that if we start studying the Bhagavad Gita early on. We will stop making that mistakes unknowingly, because now we know that it is a mistake. By that we can stop accumulating more and more sin. Like this, there are so many benefits by trying and learning the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, and it is never too late. We can always carry it into our next lives. We need not think, who knows? Once I am dead, nobody knows what I will become. The Jivatma knows. Only as long as it is in the body, we do not realize that. But once it leaves the Sharira, it will again realize, Arey, I have wasted one more life. I have to remember this. I have to consciously enter a garbham where my abhyasa can be continued in that environment. All that it is making so much of effort to do that. And once it enters the Sharira, we are again not nurturing it. We are not getting connected with our own mind. So we are again putting everything aside. That is the kind of connection we need to make with our own conscious. So consciously living is nothing but that. You must have heard about conscious living, right? That word, that term, conscious living. That is what it is about. Okay. Anyways, we'll stop here today.
Okay, Bhagini. Some English proverb is also there. Better late than never.
Yes.
Yeah, but yes. Okay, Bhagini. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani paschantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar Bhagini, Dhanyavadah. Sarvebhyah Namaskarah, Dhanyavadah. Sarvebhyah Shubhratri.
धन्यवादः भगिनी, धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः सर्वेभ्यः शुभरात्रि.
धन्यवादः भगिनी, शुभरात्रि.